What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you've got your sunscreen on and your most reliable walking shoes laced up tight, because today we are embarking on the ultimate marathon-length, deep-dive trek through the absolute beating heart of Panama City Beach, Florida. We aren't just doing a quick stroll today. We are taking an unhurried, long-form virtual journey into the mid-beach strip of Front Beach Road. If you've ever sat at your desk in the middle of a gray, freezing northern winter, dreaming of a place where the air tastes like salt and the sun feels like a permanent warm hug, this is exactly the escape you need. We're going to spend the next hour soaking in every single sight, sound, and smell this iconic stretch has to offer. We are starting our journey on the south side of Front Beach Road, and there is no better place to kick things off than right here at the Days Inn by Wyndham Oceanfront. Now, before we even take our first step, I want you to just stop and listen for a second. You hear that roar? That isn't the Gulf of Mexico, at least not yet. That is the legendary 6-story man-made waterfall that this hotel is famous for. It's this massive, craggy, artificial stone mountain that spills thousands of gallons of water every minute into a massive lagoon-style pool. It's glorious, it's loud, and it is the ultimate welcome to the beach landmark. If we were to walk inside right now, you'd see the pirate sword fights, the mermaid shows, and kids splashing in the cave behind the falls. It's a total throwback to that high-energy, classic Florida vacation vibe that's been drawing families here for decades. You've got the smell of chlorine in the air, the mist from the waterfall hitting your face, and that distinct, heavy scent of coconut-scented sunscreen that seems to be the official perfume of the Emerald Coast. As we start our trek heading east, look at the sidewalk beneath us. It's already radiating heat. In Panama City Beach, the concrete has a memory. It holds onto that Florida sun all day long and starts pushing it back at you by mid-morning. To our right, the Gulf of Mexico is our constant, shimmering companion, though it likes to play hide-and-seek behind the buildings. We're passing by these little slivers of paradise between the properties, the wooden walkways, and dunes that lead straight to the water. Every time we pass a public beach access gate, you get a flash of that brilliant, almost neon emerald green water that gives this coast its name. And let's talk about that sand for a second. Look at it through the gaps in the sea oats. It looks like someone emptied 1 million bags of pure white sugar onto the shore. It's nearly 100% quartz, washed down from the Appalachian Mountains over millions of years. Because it's quartz, it doesn't absorb heat like the dark sand you find in California or the Atlantic coast. Even on a 100-degree day, your feet don't burn when you're out on the shore. It's so fine that it actually squeaks under your feet when you walk on it, a sound every local knows by heart. It's a blinding, beautiful white that acts like a giant reflector, making the water look even more turquoise and the sunsets look like they've been edited in Photoshop. We're coming up on Harpoon Harry's now at 12627 Front Beach Road. This place is an absolute beast of a landmark. It's one of those massive, sprawling beachfront clubs that has seen 1 million spring breaks come and go. Even now, in the middle of the day, you can see the staff setting up the outdoor decks, wiping down the wooden tables that have been seasoned by decades of salt spray and spilled tropical drinks. You can smell the kitchen starting to wake up, that heavy, delicious scent of fried grouper sandwiches, blackened shrimp, and that distinct, savory kick of Old Bay seasoning. You can imagine the thousands of people who have sat on those decks over the years, watching the sunset with a cold drink and their toes practically in the sand. It's a place built on the philosophy of no shoes, no shirt, no problem, and it represents the carefree spirit that PCB was founded on. Moving further east, notice how the architecture starts to tell a story. It's a fascinating timeline of American vacation history. You've got these classic 2-story motels with their teal railings, jalousie windows, and outdoor walkways sitting right next to these multi-million-dollar glass towers. We're passing the Chateau Beachfront now. It's got that retro, old Florida charm that makes you feel like you should be in a 1960s postcard, perhaps driving a wood-paneled station wagon with a surfboard strapped to the roof. The palm trees along this stretch are all leaning slightly to the west, a permanent, graceful bow to the prevailing winds that come off the Gulf. They've survived hurricanes and tropical storms, standing as silent witnesses to the changing skyline. As we keep walking toward the Spring Hill Suites, the energy starts to shift. We're entering what locals call the high-rise district. The shadows get longer here because the buildings are so tall, they literally block the sun for parts of a day, creating these cool corridors of shade that are a godsend in July. You've got the Hampton Inn and Suites, and then the massive modern footprint of the Spring Hill Suites by Marriott at 12513. This is the new face of Panama City Beach. It's all sleek lines, floor-to-ceiling glass, infinity pools, and lazy rivers. If you look through the glass of the lobby as we pass, you can see the vacationers in the lazy river just drifting in slow circles with their eyes closed, letting the artificial current do all the work. It looks like a dream compared to the hustle and bustle of the sidewalk. They've got Jelly's Cafe in there, and you can bet the line for a double scoop of hand-dipped mint chocolate chip. All right, we've reached our eastern turnaround point at the Spring Hill. Now comes the most adventurous part of the walk, crossing Front Beach Road. This road is the main artery of the city, and it is always pumping with life. You've got the rental Jeeps with the doors off and the music cranking, the slingshots that look like three-wheeled Batmobiles, and the lifted trucks that sound like rolling thunder. You have to be patient. Wait for that white walking man to flash on the signal. Don't try to time the traffic. Drivers out here are often looking at the ocean, the neon signs, or their GPS, not necessarily the crosswalk. It's a moment to just stand still and take in the sheer volume of people who have descended on this town to have a good time. Okay, we've made the crossing safely. We're on the north side now, and we're heading back west. You notice the difference immediately. On the south side, you have that beautiful, consistent Gulf breeze to keep you honest. Over here on the north side, the massive hotels act as a windbreak, and the heat feels a lot more personal. It's that thick, heavy Florida humidity that makes your shirt stick to your back about 3 minutes into the walk. But this is where the stuff is. This is the side of the road that caters to every tourist whim you could possibly have. It's a land of neon, plastic, and deep-fried everything. We're walking past Alvin's Island and Shipwreck Ltd. At 12613. These stores are like the cathedrals of the beach world. You walk inside, and it's just a sensory overload. You get hit by that blast of icy air conditioning, the best feeling in the world, and then you see it rows and rows of neon t-shirts, racks of Salt Life gear, hermit crab cages, boogie boards, and every possible souvenir you can imagine. If it has a dolphin on it, a shark tooth attached to it, or says PCB in glitter, it's in there. We're passing the scooter rental shops now. This is a classic PCB site. Families trying to figure out how to drive those scoot coupes or six-person golf carts. It's a comedy of errors. Someone's always trying to go the wrong way down a one-way alley or struggling to park near the fudge shop. It's all part of the chaotic charm that makes this place feel like a permanent carnival. As we continue west, we're passing by some of the local staples. You've got the little mom and pop pizza joints where the dough is made fresh every morning, and you can smell the garlic and oregano hitting the hot sidewalk. There are convenience stores that sell those massive 32-ounce fountain sodas that are basically a requirement for survival if you're out here in the heat. We're approaching the area near Shipwreck Island Water Park. Even from the road, you can hear the whoosh of the wave pool and the distant, joyful screams of people falling down the free-fall slide. That park has been around since 1983, and it represents the original soul of Panama City Beach, the one that existed before the massive condo boom of the early 2000s. It's a place of nostalgia for anyone who grew up coming here in the 80s and 90s. Now, we're getting close to a spot that has a bit more grit and authentic local history. We're walking up to the Salty Goat Saloon at 13006. You'll see the motorcycles first. There's almost always a line of Harleys, Indians, and custom choppers parked out front, chrome gleaming in the afternoon sun. The Salty Goat was founded by Gary Galt back in 2012, and it was his vision to create a place where everyone, locals, bikers, military, and tourists, felt like family. Gary's legacy still lives on in every cold beer served here. You can hear the live music starting up. They usually have bands 7 nights a week, ranging from southern rock to blues and country. It's unpretentious, it's loud, and it's exactly what a beach bar should be. You smell the grill, Burgers like the Philly goat, with that distinct goat cheese and Philly meat, or the heart attack melt, which is basically a cheeseburger topped with a fried egg and bacon on Texas toast. It's the kind of place where you grab a Thirsty Thursday well drink or a Fireball Friday shot and just watch the world go by on Front Beach Road from the covered patio. It's a sanctuary for the real PCB, where the dress code is whatever you happen to be wearing when you walked in off the street. We're going to pivot here at the Goat and start our final leg. We're heading back toward the water, finding another crosswalk to make our way back over to the south side. The moment your feet hit that beachside sidewalk again, you feel that temperature drop by about 5 degrees. It's like walking into a different climate zone. The Gulf air is moving again, and it feels like absolute heaven. We're on the home stretch now, walking east back toward the day's inn. But since we're taking our time, let's talk about the change in the light. The sun is starting to get lower in the sky, and this is when the golden hour really kicks in. In Panama City Beach, the light at 6 or 7 in the evening is magical. Everything turns this soft, buttery yellow. The white sand starts to glow with hints of pink and purple as the sky prepares for the main event. The shadows of the palm trees are stretching across the asphalt like long, dark fingers. Look at the traffic now, it's changing too. The cruisers are out. This is the time of day when people put the tops down on their convertibles, turn the music up, and just slow roll it down the strip. The neon signs on the older motels are starting to flicker to life. You see the glowing blue of the swimming pools, the bright pink vacant signs, and the multicolored LED lights on the balconies of the high-rise condos. It's a neon symphony. This is the version of Florida that everyone has in their head. The endless summer, the glowing lights, the smell of the salt, and the sound of the surf. We're passing the chateau and the Harpoon Harry's area again on our way back. You can see the families heading back up from the beach, dragging their wagons full of sand toys, umbrellas, and half-empty coolers. They've got that good tired look on their faces, the one where you've had just a little too much sun and way too much fun. You see the kids with their hair all matted from the salt water, carrying buckets of shells they found during low tide, talking about what they're going to eat for dinner. There's a specific kind of peace that settles over the strip right before dinner time. And there it is, right ahead of us, the finish line. We're pulling back up to the day's inn. The waterfall is still roaring, just as steady as it was when we started nearly an hour ago. We've covered the distance, seen the history of the beach from the 50s to the present day, and we've breathed in enough salt air to cure whatever was bothering us. We've seen the high-end luxury, the gritty biker bars, the neon souvenir cathedrals, and the timeless, unchanging beauty of the Gulf. Thanks for sticking with me on this marathon stroll through Panama City Beach. It's loud, it's flashy, it's a little bit crazy, and it's always changing, but man, is it beautiful when you take the time to really look at it. If you enjoyed this deep, long-form walk, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We'll be hitting the boardwalks of Destin and the quiet shores of the Forgotten Coast soon. Until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon and your toes in the sand. We'll see you at the beach.